Hello, surprise, surprise. I know I don't normally do this on a Monday morning, but like I always tell you guys, I usually do it when I feel it. And that goes for anything, man. Once you get out of, that's a whole different story, but once you get out of debt matrix, you don't do things because when people tell you to do it or the timeline that they think you're supposed to do it on. No, it's only on your timeline. You do it when you feel it, when it comes to you. That's how it works. So that's what I'm doing now. So what's up, Aaron? You always get it first, man. So as always, I'm gonna wait for people to get in here and then we're gonna get started with the title. As you guys can see. 1 second here, I gotta get some water. Yes, you are first, man. You usually are too. So give a few minutes. Then I'm gonna introduce myself. I know people that come here normally. They probably think, hey, what's up, Donovan? People say, damn, man, LJ, you always introduce yourself. People should know you by now. No, it's not like that. Trust me. Sometimes you could come out here and ask a slave, hey, you know who Dave Ramsey is? And they'd be like, no, I don't know who that is. So that's how I always look at things, right? Like Dave Ramsey is huge to me, right? He's huge, but there's some people out there that don't know who he is. That's crazy to me, right? So imagine me not telling people who I am, right? Who is this dude? What's up, L Marshall? We got about 1 more minute. I'm gonna get started on the title because this video is gonna save a lot, hopefully save a lot of you slaves. Okay. All you got to do is trust. All you got to do is trust math, and then you'll see how it all works. You'll see how it all works. All right. You'll see every single thing, how it works. I promise you. But you gotta, you can't be a slave though. You can't. Put it this way. What I'm sharing right now here on SMD, you will never, you cannot, it's not even an option for you to see. If you are in debt, you cannot see or know what I'm talking about ever. You can't. It's mathematically impossible for you to see. Okay. It's invisible to slaves. They don't know that. And what I have is a gift, right? And the wonderful thing about this gift I have, it is a financial superpower. Okay. The wonderful thing about my gift compared to everybody else's gift, I can prove my gift with mathematics. I can prove it, right? That's what makes me stand out. When you hear other people get on the channel and talk about their gift is true. That is true. Okay, you guys, that is true. But most of those people cannot prove their gift. I can prove my gift. And I can prove my gift to be right all the time, 100% of the time. I can prove it. You see what I'm saying? That's what I love about my gift. So welcome to the channel. If you're new, my name is LJ Young, and I'm a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them mathematically see outside what I call the debt matrix. The debt matrix is a place where all slaves live that believe in financing everything that goes down in value. That's where slaves live. And there's 2 types of slaves. There's the unconscious slave, and this is what makes them unconscious. Okay, listen closely. Unconscious slaves don't trust math, and they don't know they don't trust math. That is what makes them unconscious. Like, let me give you an example. There are millions of people with 30-year mortgages that believe they're homeowners. Okay, if they just did the simple mathematical formula, their mortgage payment minus their mortgage balance would show them clearly that they're not a homeowner. But since they don't trust math and don't know they don't trust math, they will never know that. How do I know that? Because millions and millions and millions of people are doing it. That's why it's a gift. Do you understand? You see how that works? I proved everything I said with mathematics. One second. All right. What's up, Al? What's going on? Now, I want you to. I usually don't do this on the free side because you slaves, you'll never know what I'm talking about. But I'm gonna. This is. Oh, I said there's two kind of slaves. There's conscious slaves. I'm sorry. The other one's conscious slave. A conscious slave was once unconscious, heard SMD, now believes mathematics, realizing that they're a slave, and they're doing whatever it takes to get out from, because they know if you're a slave, you don't own yourself. You don't own you. And if you are under zero and you don't own you, you cannot, according to the laws of mathematics, you cannot own anything outside of yourself if you don't even own yourself. You understand? Unconscious slaves have no idea their whole financial life breaks all the laws of mathematics. So that means if it breaks the laws of mathematics, it doesn't exist. Now, try proving that to a slave that the house they live in is not really theirs. Go ahead. I promise you, try it. They will look at you like you're nuts. Even if you said, "Hey, open up your calculator app and put in this equation. Your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance equals your equity in a house you don't own." If you said that to them, they would look at you like you're nuts. You know why? Because they can't hear you. Even when you prove it with mathematics and show it to their face, you know why they don't believe you? Because they can't even hear you. They don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So now to the title of this video, crypto credit currency. Cryptocurrency has been here for years. It's called credit. Slaves use it every single day and they believe it's new. The banks invented that shit and they invented cryptocurrency. Sure did, because you slaves will believe anything. Your whole life is credit. Now you think you can. Now slaves believe they can invest in some imaginary money that doesn't even exist. Credit doesn't exist. What do you think they're going to do with unregulated cryptocurrency? People that understand money, they're going to just rape you slaves. You guys have no idea why Bitcoin is going up. Have not a clue. Not a clue. Have no idea why Elon Musk invested all that money just before the stimulus package was approved. It's the same thing why you slaves play the lottery. It's the same thing. But out here, it's like the Wild West. There's no rules. They could take the money, pull it, steal it. It don't matter. It's backed by nothing because it doesn't exist. Cryptocurrency has been here, slaves. All you got to listen, all you got to do is take a step back and look at the things that make sense. That's all you got to do. Anybody can make up cryptocurrency. Anybody. They can just start one and they just put it out there. Try to make your own dollar. They will spank your ass if you coming over here trying to make your own dollar. No, you can't do that. You will go to prison. And then you got to say, why is that? Because one is real and one is not. That seems pretty simple to me. They said, "Hey, they said you got to use this here, and you only can use this. So we're going to take away the time in your life if you do it." Okay, I don't want to lose the time in my life, so I'm not going to copy it. I'm not going to try to make my own. I'm not. Oh, but cryptocurrency, yeah, you can do all that. Make as many as you wish because it's not real. But slaves believe it's real. Slaves believe they are. Put it this way: if you're a person out there, now I want you to listen very closely, slave, and I need you to listen. If you believe you've invested in cryptocurrency while having student loans, you did not, slave. If you have student loans, listen, according to the laws of mathematics, if you have student loans, you have absolutely no money to invest in anything outside of yourself because you don't even own yourself. Now, you're probably thinking, what do you mean I don't own myself? I'm going to walk you through the steps to show you what you don't see. Okay. You're probably thinking, I do own myself. I'll show you that you don't. Log into your Credit Karma account or whatever credit service you use to look at your credit report. Go in there. You see those list of businesses in there? You see those businesses? They own you. Your credit report is an owner's ledger. This is how they keep track of you, slaves. The slaves that pay back good dividends, they get a higher credit score. The slaves that don't pay back good dividends, they get a lower credit score. It still balances out because the people with bad with money just get charged higher interest rates. And the people with good credit, yeah, they get lower interest rate, but there's more of them trying to keep their high credit score, so they're going to stay in debt. It's a win-win. And slaves with bad credit scores, they expect to get charged higher interest rate because they got a bad credit score. Not even understand all of that is a private business. What do you mean? According to what rules? Slaves never stop to think and look at the credit system and say, hey, why is this outside entity governing me about my finances? Because you're choosing it, slave. You're choosing it by not trusting math. That's why you're there. That's why you believe. That's why you get on your knees and bow down to the almighty credit gods. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to use them. It's a choice. But instead, you guys keep doing things that investing in crypto. Do you know how do you know how high cryptocurrency is gonna go? It's gonna hit at least 100,000 because the stimulus package got approved. You know what you slaves are gonna do? You're gonna take that money and then you're gonna throw it at cryptocurrency, thinking it's gonna save your life, and then you're gonna turn it all around, and then it's gonna fix your problems. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because you've invested with money that doesn't even exist. You're a slave. Slaves can't invest. Slaves can't invest. Slaves can't own cars. Slaves can't own houses. Slaves can't even finance tires. No, no, they only can finance tires. Slaves can't own anything. Now remember, everything I'm saying I can prove mathematically, okay? So don't if you come over here and think, hey, this and that, that's not true, put it in the calculator. I can show you that you're not a homeowner. Now, if you're just joining, this is what you do. You open up your calculator because I want you to put it in with your own fingers. Put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, meaning what you have left owed to pay back the bank on the house, okay? And hit enter. That is your equity in a house that you don't own. Now, here's the glitch in the debt matrix if you ever want to get out. You got to stop. You got to look at the calculator and say, I believe it. And then you got to look in the mirror and say to yourself, just like this, how come I believe I'm a homeowner when the calculator clearly shows that I'm not? How come I believe that? That's the program. That's the program. That's the program that, hey, that doesn't make any sense, right? No, it doesn't. You don't have to be on that side of the program. You understand that, right? You can just watch. You can watch what slaves do. They're slaves. They're going to all do the same thing. That's why there are trillions of dollars in mortgage loan debt because of slaves. Without slaves, the housing market would not exist because it could not exist. Do you understand? Student loan, if slaves understood, student loan debt wouldn't exist. Do you get it? There's trillions in student loan debt, credit card debt, all that. There's trillions. If slaves knew what I knew, none of that would exist and the economy would collapse. We can't have that. That cannot happen. I do not want that. Let's make sure that's clear. I believe in cryptocurrency. It's because so when I say this stuff is imaginary, it's imaginary to slaves, not to people who know. Okay, understand that. The stock market, it exists for people who know, not for slaves. If you put it this way, slaves, if you can see it, I don't want it. If the majority of slaves see the stock market, that means that's something wrong. Too many slaves see it. Why? Oh, now you get out of the debt matrix and you see what the stock market is. You see clearly what it is. It's something that slaves can never see. If you're in under zero, you can't see it. So now they got a cryptocurrency credit, which is regulated, blah, blah, blah. Every slave can see it. But now now they invented crypto. Now they invented this other cryptocurrencies like the Wild West, unregulated, everything. They can just do whatever because they know exactly what you slaves are going to do. All right. What's up, E-Man? Nicer. Hello, hello. Alex. Jeffrey, 1000% right. They look at you like you're some kind of alien. They sure do. And you know me, you guys, I don't care what slaves think or say, how they feel. I don't care. I don't even barely even see slaves where I'm at. Because he knows everybody about to put their money in it and he's going to be a trillion. He sure is. That's exactly what he did. He know, man, you know how much money he's going to get to fund what he really wants to do. You think, put it this way, he's putting stuff in outer space. Do you think Elon Musk gives a fuck about cryptocurrency? No, that's just extra free money that's going to fund what he really wants to do. That's brilliant. And you know what slaves thought? This is what slaves think. They don't really even get it, right? They think, ooh, if Elon Musk did it, it must be going somewhere. Oh, slaves, you guys just follow just like you're just like cows in like a maze. Guess when okay, I'm gonna give you a little hint. Okay. Guess when he's gonna pull his money out? Soon as he hears on the news that the last of the stimulus checks are going out, hey, they're wrapping up. Everybody now are getting the last of the stimulus check. That's when it's time to pull because slaves don't know when to pull. Then he's gonna pull his money and get all that free money to go. Now he's gonna be able to go to Jupiter. He's gonna be able to travel the whole solar system because of you slaves. And I say like this, unsunken one, don't even call it fiat currency. All those names, listen, all these different names, what it was back is it backed by gold, is not backed by gold, and all this other stuff. That's listen closely, you guys. I promise you, that information is for slaves to keep them confused and in debt. No currency, no matter if it's backed by anything, doesn't exist for them. It doesn't matter who does what with it and it's backed by this and back in 1970 it did this. That doesn't matter, I promise you. Put it this way, okay? Anybody talking to you throwing name terms like that, fiat currency and blah blah blah. This is what I want you to ask that person. Turn to them and say, "Do you got student loans?" If they say yes, stop listening to them. They have no idea what they're talking about. None, zero. Stop listening to them. Hey, man, you should be investing in your 401k. You turn to them and say, "Do you got student loans?" If they say yes, stop listening to them. They have no idea. That's 100% impossible to invest in a 401k while having student loan debt. That is 100. That breaks all the laws of mathematics, all of them. Stop listening to them. If they talking about they're getting a match, you say, they say, oh yeah, I'm getting this. You know how they try to sound fancy. Oh yeah, I'm getting a 6% match. You turn to them and say, you got student loan? If they say yes, they're not matching anything. You can't match negative dollars to anything. Business talk. I made a video telling folks if you are broke, don't invest in Bitcoin. People said I was giving bad advice. Ain't that crazy? You can't go out. Hey, this is the only channel you're gonna be able to say this. You can't go out saying that kind of stuff. You're just telling, hey, everybody, I'm an alien. Hey, everybody. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can prove what I'm saying. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear you. And I keep telling you, you SNB followers that cross over, I don't want the system to change. I want to make sure that's clear. I understand the purpose of taxes. Oh, that's why you can go to prison for tax evasion. I get it. It's all, oh, okay, got it. Oh, because if they didn't force everybody to participate, it couldn't work. Oh, I get it. I get it now. Okay. You get out of debt, you say, oh, you just follow the rules. Yeah, because millions of slaves are not. That's why you slaves are so easy to spot when you try to do tax evasion. None of your shit makes any mathematical sense. The only person that doesn't know it is you. Do you understand that? Only you don't know. They have everything. That's why they're knocking on your door because they know you're wrong. They're just going to see how long you're going to lie about it. Oh, hey, I'm going to get a tax attorney. They're going to be like, we don't give a fuck. The math is still not going to make sense no matter what type of attorney you're going to get. It's still not going to make sense. But you are the only one that don't know that. That's why you slaves are so easy to spot. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what you can't see. You don't trust math and you don't even know you don't trust math. You get it? That's why Bitcoin is up to 50, 60,000, whatever, because of you slaves. Now, I'm gonna break this down to you so you guys can really understand. Okay. Bitcoin couldn't exist without you. Now, if they only sold Bitcoin for the price it is today and you can only buy a Bitcoin, how many of you slaves will have $60,000, $50,000 to buy a Bitcoin? None, slave, because money doesn't exist for you. So what they do is break it down in Bitcoin crumbs, just like car payments. You can't even buy a car. You got to break that up in payments. Bitcoin is the same. You can't buy a $30,000 car. You most definitely will never be able to buy a $60,000 invisible Bitcoin. You understand? So they break it down in Bitcoin crumbs and rape you. They financially abuse you. Sure do. They know exactly what you're going to do. It's obvious. And check this out. They're not doing anything. You're choosing it. They're not, I promise you, they're not tricking you. Nothing. They're not tricking you with anything. You are choosing it all. Like, put it this way. These financial scammers out here, if you once you get out of the debt matrix, you will clearly see scammers make absolutely no mathematical sense whatsoever. It can't. It's a scam. If it's a Put it this way, if it can't, it's a scam because it can't. So it cannot make sense. It cannot make mathematical sense. Do you understand? They prey on you guys. Once you get out of debt matrix, you can clearly see a financial scam from like 2 miles away. It's like, oh, that's a scam. Why? It doesn't make mathematical sense. And if it doesn't make mathematical sense, it cannot make financial sense. Do you understand? Yeah, slaves are the product. You see the stock market, you can see? Its slaves are the stock. It's not the companies. It's not the companies. It's the slaves. Slaves paying companies to grow. They got slaves helping their companies grow. Slaves do it. Mm, mm, mm. It's like when I see that shit today, I'd be like, God damn, I'm so far behind. I'm 51. Okay, I can probably get this shit up in like 5 years. Okay, I got 5 years. Shout out to Donovan for the $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. LJ, when I told my mom she was a loan owner, I thought she was gonna hang up the phone on me, right? And this, I'm glad you said that because I want people to see how powerful that shit is. That's powerful. He is her son. She had him, and they still get mad. Can you imagine if you walk up to a stranger that has been paying on their house for 20, 30 years or longer, and you tell them, hey, by the way, yeah, I know you've been paying on your house that long, but you're not a homeowner. You're still not. They would go crazy on you. Yes, man, I've been here since 68, and that don't mean shit. Oh man, this house has been in the family for a century. How has it been in the family with a mortgage? Yeah, it's not. No, it's not. It's never been in your family. Maybe the family has been paying on it that long, but that don't mean shit. It's still the banks. What's up, Andre? Thank you, Nicer. What's up, Nick? Jeffrey? Oh, Monique? What's up, D-Rock? The Scout, what's going on? I'm glad you can make it. Jeffrey says, you can say that, LJ. The slave must remember they are not Elon. Right. They're not. If put it this way, you guys, if you have student loan debt, don't worry about what the fuck Elon Musk is doing. If you're making car payments, don't worry about what the fuck Elon Musk is doing. That has nothing to do with you. Nothing. I promise you, absolutely nothing. If you owe parking tickets to the city, don't worry about what Elon's doing. If you're making payments on a touch screen refrigerator, don't worry about what Elon Musk is doing. That is none of your business. Not even close. What's up, Quentin? What's up, LJ? You right. You talk to your friends about getting out of debt, you will lose a friendship. I share your video with one of my friends. I share your video with one. See, you will lose your friends. I got a close friend. We can't talk about finances. We don't. Taxes are the income of the shareholder. Sure is. You better believe that. Yeah, I ain't getting it right. Yeah, I ain't getting it right now. Best thing to do is stack your money, then invest in the next big after your money's right. Yeah, you'll know. Trust me. All you got to do is watch the movement of slaves. You'll know what to invest in. You'll know what not to invest in, and you'll know how to do it. Okay, because you will do it always with taxes in mind. Okay, I promise you, you will always do it with taxes in mind. Because remember, slaves think taxes are bad. But when you get out of debt, you'll see the purpose of taxes, and they are good. If you know but you can't see that when you're in debt. Okay, that's the best way I can say that part. I don't really know how to explain that part yet, but it's called phantom income. Okay, I can explain it with mathematics. I can't really explain it with words. Al says people think they're geniuses for investing in crypto when it literally does nothing better than fiat. When it's nothing better than fiat, it just again don't title it with that fiat stuff. Okay, just understand that it's imaginary. Okay, it doesn't matter what it is. It only exists for people who have money. Like Elon, cryptocurrency exists for Elon. Got it? And people like Elon. Most of the people with money, they don't want you to know their name. You don't want millions of slaves knowing that you have trillions of dollars, right? You just don't want that. You see how slaves act with like movie stars, or famous actors or something that make millions, or even pro players that make millions of dollars because they think that's a lot of money. See how they act with that kind of money? What if they find out you have trillions? See what I'm saying? You don't want any of that nonsense. You don't want any of it. Thank you, sir. Under says 401k balances are going to evaporate this year. Thank you for your contributions. They're going to evaporate. And you know, when slaves say, "Oh my God, I'm losing my man," it keeps going down and down. My 401k is going down and down and down and down and down, right? And they think it just disappears. No, it's going in somebody else's pocket. If it's going down for you, that means it's going up for somebody else. You think I saw that at all back in the? I would have never seen that. Was the only thing I would have been focusing on is the money losing in my retirement account. But this is another thing where slaves don't really even get. I wouldn't have got it until I got out of debt matrix. I would have never saw what I'm about to tell you, right? You could look at your 401k doing good for years, right? It's sitting up there, it's all high and making. So in your mind, you're thinking this is the money you're going to have to retire. And then something happens, whatever happens in the fake stock market, whatever, who cares? Who gives a shit what causes it? But it happens. And then all of a sudden you're losing your 401k and you're like, wait, if it's your money, listen, if it's your money, it wouldn't change anything. Nothing would change if the stock market changed, if it was your money. If that was your money in your bank account and the stock market crashed, guess what? Your money will still be in your bank account. But since it's not your money, that's why it changes. That's why it's not yours. So, but a slave will never say, "Hey, man, I've been thinking my retirement is this, and it's not really that." No, it's not that. It never has. Al says it's going to be crazy day when people lose their life savings and oh yeah, it's their own fault though. Okay, it's their fault. If people lose everything in cryptocurrency, it's your fault. What's up, reigning woman? The public is the only asset. You guys, man, when I hear words like that from Andre, man, you guys like slaves, you don't know, man. I mean, we could say it to you right in your face. And you would just look back at us with this blank look like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I would look right back at you and say, I don't know how else to explain it to you, slave. I don't know. I'm showing you on a calculator, but you're still not believing it. So how else can I show you? I don't know. What's up, Steven? It's been in the bank's family, the banker's grandkids. Oh yeah, you guys. Okay, listen. I want you guys to understand this. They're generations of they're generations ahead of you, okay? Generations. You're not going to change anything, especially if you're a slave. You ain't changing nothing because you don't even know you don't own yourself. This is what I do, okay? That's my business. I help you own yourself. Once you own yourself, the sky's the limit. But you got to own yourself first. You can't have owners and own something. You're owned. If you have a business, if you're put it this way, if you have student loans, if your student loans are older than your business, the business owns you. Do you understand? Because you had no money to start the business. That's guaranteed. I don't care how much your business is pulling in. No, if your student loans are older than your business, the business owns you. So all that profit and the stuff you're seeing, it's not for you. It's for the bank. You guys are the stock, man. Do you understand? Everything you see is an illusion. Everything retirement you if you believe retirement and is if you believe you cannot retire until you're a certain age, you are a slave because retirement is not an age. When you retire with a mortgage, do you think the bank's going to care if you retired? They're going to still expect their mortgage. Retirement's not an age, slaves. There's always a counterparty in every transaction. Sure is. Always. It has to be. Money doesn't evaporate, it flows. You know who it flows to? Those who trust mathematics. You can't be a Johnny come lately in investing. I heard of crypto in 2013. How are you going to get on board? Hey, when you get out of the debt matrix, you'll know exactly when to dive in. It's not really that difficult. Same with the stock market. Get out of debt and you'll know exactly how to follow the stock market. People are put it this way. If people are investing on margin, that means they're investing with borrowed money. Whose money do you think they're borrowing to invest in? Because to invest, you must have extra money to invest. That means your rent's covered, your rent or mortgage covered, all your light utilities, everything is covered. So just in case, say like you invested 5,000 and you lost it, it wouldn't affect your livelihood. Do you understand? People are investing in the stock. Okay, let me make it. I'm gonna break it down even more simpler. I believe 97% of Americans are in debt. Okay, in America. Now, if they're in debt, that means they have no money. So that means so just out of those 97% of people, how many of those people are investing in the stock market with money that doesn't exist? You see what I'm saying? Then once you get out of debt matrix, you know what slaves are going to do? They're going to do anything they're told to do. If you're making payments on rent center appliances, don't worry about what Elon Musk is doing. Anyone, nobody. That's true. The minute you try to talk finance with friends and family using math, they try to change the subject facts. And then one day, you're going to stop talking to slaves. Now, imagine this. I'm just now coming on board with this in, last 10 years of my life. I'm just say 10, right? There's people that are born with this in their and it's taught in their families. Do you understand? They've been walking around amongst us like, but they're just not talking to you. It's not like they don't want to share with you. They just know you're not going to listen. I'm one of the people, but I'm just telling you. I have no problem telling slaves. I bet you most of the people that understand this knowledge, they would never in a million years call you a slave. There is no way they would do that, but I do. And if you're offended by it, I'm gonna just tell you right now, I don't care how slaves feel about being a slave. I really don't care. Oh, you shouldn't be calling that. You're probably a slave. That's why you're saying that. You shouldn't be calling people slaves. Well, the Bible says it. Proverbs 22:7. Nobody goes in the Bible and say, "Hey, man, that shouldn't be in there." I've never heard a slave ever say that something shouldn't be in the Bible. I've never heard that. So this is what I decided to do. I decided to look in the Bible, get that term out. So when people ask me about it, I say I learned it from the Bible. What are you talking about? And I'm not even religious. That's why I want to buy a house overseas for cash, so I don't have to worry about the biggest expense. I mean, whatever you want to do. I mean, I question everything now. Okay, when you get out of debt, you're gonna question every single thing. You're gonna look at your social security number. You know what you're gonna say? Ah, now I get it. You're gonna look at your number. You're gonna be like, oh, that's why we got a social security number. That's why. That's why if you get checked out, that's why if you start fucking with it, you can go to prison for fucking with that number. Do you ever? Hey, you didn't kill nobody. Same like tax evasion, right? You gotta pay attention. Just like tax evasion and stuff like that. You start fucking around with social security numbers, you can go to prison. You got to take a step back and say, you get out of the debt matrix. This is what I say. Ah, that's why you can go to prison. I got it. Got it. It's crystal clear. Sup, hyphy? If you don't pay dividends, it ain't real investing. Sure ain't. If it don't pay dividends. And what slaves don't know, you guys pay dividends. You guys pay dividends. Interest rates. That's dividends. Do you understand? That's dividends. Everybody's getting their cut off of you. Now I know, hey, I know this red pill is hard to swallow. I know it is. I know it is. But I got some truth to tell you. Paper money, cryptocurrency, gold, silver, uh, calling it something else, fiat currency. It's not backed. You guys are fighting over something that doesn't even exist for you. None of that exists for you. It exists for people like me, not people like you. Okay. I'm gonna show you so you can understand. Okay. Now listen, and you can do this on your own calculator. Okay. Hold a $20 bill in your hand. Okay. Hold it in your hand. And then open up your calculator app on your phone. Okay. And I'm going to keep this as simple as possible. On the calculator app on your phone, I want you to put in 20 minus your car payment and hit equal. The answer to that equation it tells you how much you really have in your hand. Okay. Now, this is going to be the glitch in the debt matrix. You're going to look at the calculator. The calculator is going to tell you that you don't have nothing in your hand. Then you're going to look back at the $20. You're going to be like, but I see $20. And then you're going to look back at the calculator. The calculator say, hey, I know you see $20, but hey, check this out. It's not there. Now, there's a dilemma. Which one are you going to believe? Math, that is an exact science that's never ever wrong. It's ever wrong. If any person when it comes to math, only you can be wrong. It is never wrong. Or you choose to believe you have $20 in your hand. If you choose to believe you have $20 in your hand, you're gonna die in the debt matrix. That's where you're gonna live, and you're gonna die. Now you take that same 20 and give it to me. This is what I want you to put in your calculator. $20 minus no car payment and hit equal. What does the calculator says? I have $20. See what I'm saying? I have 20. I give it back to you. I give you that. I take that same 20 from my hand and put it back in your hand. And guess what? Poof, it disappears. Know why? Because of you. You don't trust mathematics. Do you see? Math never lies. If you don't believe it, you're the liar. Math doesn't care how you feel about it. It doesn't care how you feel. And I'm going to tell you another truth, slaves. Okay, this is very difficult. This is why you believe in cryptocurrency. You know why you believe in cryptocurrency? Because you can't see negative numbers. You guys don't know. First of all, this is the biggest one. You guys don't even know zero exists. You don't even know zero. What do you mean? They taught us this in grade school. Zero's there. What do you mean zero exists? How come you guys don't believe? You guys don't believe zero, -1, -2, -3 to negative infinity. You guys don't believe those numbers exist. Don't believe me. Probably need a test on that one too. What I want you to do to go to all your friends, all the people in your life, and this is what I want you to do. Something simple, just like this. I want you to say, "Hey, what's 5 minus 10?" The correct answer is -5. The correct answer is -5. Ask 10 of your friends that simple mathematical equation. See how many come back with 5. And don't say nothing. Don't even say, oh, you say, okay. Because the first they're going to look puzzled, like why are you asking them this simple mathematical equation? They're going to look puzzled, like, oh, that's weird. Why you want me to answer something so simple? And then they're going to answer it wrong. They're going to say 5. Slaves cannot see negative numbers. Like if you ask a slave, and I'm not even talking down to you. I'm just telling you how how strong the program is, right? Count to 10. If somebody asked me to count to 10, I would just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's not how you count to 10. It's 0 through 9 is how you count to 10. zero, one, two. You don't skip over zero. Why does everybody think they can just skip over? No, you can't. You must always include zero. And this is how, honestly, I was thinking about this the other day. This is how people that understand money, this is how we can communicate with each other, right? If you're trying to, because you can't look at a person and say, oh shit, they get it. You don't really know, right? But if you walk up to them and say, hey man, how you count to 10? And they go 0 through 9, that's gonna be an indication that they know, right? Of course, there's gonna be more and more factors, but right off the bat, you're gonna kind of have an idea that they know something at least, right? Laura says, these days I laugh at people who are still in their 60s and 70s with a job, man. Now, again, I'm not saying that because you're debt free you don't have a job. Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about the people that are stuck in their jobs, because let me tell you something. People that are not in debt, they are at jobs they want to be at because they don't have to be there. Okay, they understand that a job is a tool. They're not going to job to make friends, because the majority of people at work, you don't really understand this when you're in debt, but the majority of people at your job are there because they have to be there. They're in debt. They got payments. When you are there because you want to be there, is different. That's why they say, hey man, don't be discussing your salaries amongst each other. They always tell you that. That never had made no sense, because there are people that understand their worth, and they probably do the same job as you, but they're probably making double salary because they're not in debt and they're really good at what they do. And the employer knows, by checking their credit report, the employer knows that this person is here because they want to be here, which makes them an even better qualified employee, because they want to be there. They're not here because they're paying them a certain salary. They're paying them here because this person likes what he do and he's being compensated well. That's why they don't want you guys discussing salaries amongst each other. That's what I want to just make sure people understand, that because working is the only way you can get, I mean, besides owning your own business, I'm just saying, just typically, right? Working is a tool. Remember, a job is a tool for you to earn money, period. And once you get out of debt, like I said earlier, you won't be making friends. You won't be doing none of that. You won't give a shit about their retirement plan, because you're not going to be there long anyway. So, hey, you want us to automatically take out money for it? Nope, I sure don't. You don't take out nothing. No. Because in your mind, you're probably going to be there 3 to 5 years max and move the fuck on. Your, your, your retirement plan is to be done with working in 10 years. Because you better believe that if I was in my 20s, my plan would be to stop working in 10 years. Stupid 65, 55. That sounds like insanity. Oh, I worked that long, and then at that age, that's when I enjoyed the things I really want to do. Oh man, you got to be crazy. You got to be crazy. All these slaves, all these slaves invested in cryptocurrency. They don't even, check this out. Slaves don't even know that they're using cryptocurrency to invest in cryptocurrency. Credit is cryptocurrency, slaves. You guys don't even, you're using cryptocurrency to invest in cryptocurrency to make even more imaginary money. Slaves, none of it exists, slaves. You see how bad they do slaves? They do you guys so dirty. Ooh, they do you guys so dirty in your face. Do you understand? None of this is hidden. None of it's hidden. The secret to becoming wealthy is not a secret. Anybody can become wealthy. You just have to trust math. That's all. That's all you got to do. Things that it's Here's a hint, okay? This is for the slaves that are wandering around the debt matrix, because I was you at a moment for a brief time, right? You're wandering around the debt matrix, wondering that like there's something wrong, but you just can't put your finger on it, right? You're thinking, damn, no matter how many raises I get, no matter how many times I get a better job, making more money, I'm still in the same situation. I'm telling you, here's the answer. It's you. Trust math, and you will have the answer of why you're still stuck. Even after 5, 10, 15 years making all this money, you get more and more money, and you're still stuck. It's you. It's you. I'm telling you, man. Hey, when you get out of the debt matrix, counts on how long you've been in, but when you get out, you're gonna be pissed. Not not at the system, not anybody around you. No, you're gonna be pissed at yourself. Because when you get out, you're gonna find out none of it was a secret. Every they don't even know the secret. All the majority of people that think that believe they're telling you the secret, they're selling you something that you believe is a secret. It's not a secret. And I'm not when I say that, when they're selling you not a secret, hey, that's my feelings. If it's legal what they're doing, that's great business, okay? Everything, I mean, it's about selling, okay? But it's business. If you don't believe in math, that's your problem. Like, let me give you an example. If you believe financing cell phones every single year, that's your problem. All you got to do is do the math, and you can clearly see financing cell phones don't make any mathematical sense. They break all the laws of mathematics. But if you don't see that, that's your problem. Put it Here's another thing. If you knew if you knew what it really meant to finance a cell phone, you would never tell anybody in the world that you financed a cell phone before, let alone have a financed cell phone in your hand. You would never do that, especially in public. You would never say you financed your cell phone in public. But here, I'm gonna give you guys something you can use I want you to go see how many slaves finance cell phones without letting them know that that's why you're asking this question. Okay. So ask them this question. They won't know what you mean. Okay. I promise. So don't worry about this. You go, well, if they got the latest iPhone, this is all you got to say. Hey, how much was that phone? If they turn to you and say, I don't know, that means they financed it. Because listen, if you if you are out of debt and you have money, when you're out of debt, you have money, right? And you want the latest iPhone and you want a brand new, you can go do that. It's not a big deal, right? If the phone was $1,500 and you paid $1,500 and somebody asked you, hey, how much was that phone? You're going to say $1,500 and you're going to include the tax. So if it was $1,500, you're going to say with tax and it came up to almost 17, you're going to say, oh, it was almost $1,700 because you pay cash for it. There is no guessing. You will never go, man, I don't remember. No, you would remember if you dropped 1,700. Okay. And but when the slave says, I don't know, automatically know that they finance. Now, again, ask 10 of your friends that you know have new cell phones. Ask each one of them, hey, how much was that phone? If they guess, that means they financed it. And if that same friend is asking you to invest in Bitcoin, you better stop listening to them because they're financing a cell phone. You never take financial advice from anybody financing a cell phone. That's wrong. Don't need to know how to calculate a differential equation to do basic math, to do basic economic. But you got to think about it this way, Jeffrey. Imagine how many professional accountants are out there with student loans that are their oldest debts. I'm going to say that one more time. Imagine how many professional accountants are out there with having their student loan debt is their oldest debt out of all their debts. Though that's the biggest red flag ever. You're going to hire an accountant that doesn't even own themselves. They haven't balanced the books of themselves, but you're going to hire them for your business. That's financial suicide. You would never do that ever, because they're missing the biggest part of a mathematical equation. Zero starts with you. And if you are not at zero, that means you don't own yourself. That means you are missing a huge, ginormous piece of the financial puzzle. You have to own you first. Quinn says, that's my goal, to be done with working for a job in 5 years. I'm 35 years old and I'm 100% debt free. See how you can just set that goal now? When you're in debt and they ask you that same question, hey, what do you want 5 years from now? Where do you want to be financially 5 years now? If you don't know where you're at today, there is no way you can know where you're going to be in 5 years. That's impossible. Do you understand? If somebody asked you that question, if I asked you, hey, do you know how much debt you're in? And you say no, there is no way in math. The laws of mathematics say there is no way you could know where you're going to be in 5 years if you don't know where you are today. Do you understand? So now, since the people know, some don't know, now they're going to sell you something because you don't know that. They know you don't know that. You can't. You're in debt. So since you don't know, they're going to sell you one. That's how it works. You see how it works? They know you don't know. That's impossible. Even sometimes, now don't get me wrong, even the people selling you shit, they're in debt. Half of them don't even know. They don't even know why they're selling what they're selling. They're just selling to get a paycheck. They don't know why they're doing it. They're selling you something that you should know yourself. You are the only one that can know that. What's up, Zeke? Andre says, I have interviewed hundreds of accountants. 99.99% don't have a clue. See what I'm saying? Do you guys understand what Andre's saying right here is a fucking superpower? This is a financial superpower that very few have. You better believe. Now, this is just my opinion. You better believe there's a school somewhere that only few people know about. That only few people know about. You know who they hire? Teachers that know. Teachers that are not in debt, guaranteed. You cannot be in debt to be hired. First of all, if you're in debt and you're a teacher, you wouldn't even know to look for these type of schools. I promise you wouldn't even know to ask the right question. Hey, what type of teachers you have? If you don't know, they're not going to tell you. And they teach fine. I guarantee you, finance in this school is different. It's way different. It's got to be. It's got to be. I have vested VPs of local banks. They don't know what is going on either. Right. And you know what's crazy? Slaves will they'll take the financial advice because somebody works at a bank. Oh man, he works for that big US bank, man. He's got it. That don't mean shit. Just because a person works at a bank, you think they know what it no, they don't. All you gotta, if you want to know if they know, you turn around and that person that works at the bank, you ask them, you got student loans? If they say yes, they don't know shit. How do I know this? They got student loans. What do you mean? If you have student loans, that means you don't own yourself. You are owned. They own you. And the length of that ownership is totally up to you. You probably thinking, how much is it going to cost me to be free? This is what you do. Take your savings, add up all your savings, add up all your debt, student loan debt, mortgage, tickets, back child support, whatever, fines, whatever, right? And then go savings minus debt equals your price of your freedom. That's how much it's going to cost you to be free. So you're probably looking at this number. It's going to be a large negative number. Yes, it is. What are you going to do about it? Because the only person in the United States of America that can take care of that number is you. Nothing outside of you, just you. How do I know this? Because that's what I did. Now I'm here. Once you get out of the debt matrix, you own yourself. You can own anything you want now. Anything. Car, phone, house, business, whatever. You walk in the bank is going to know that you know. Do you understand? When you walk in the bank, they're going to ask to run your credit report. As soon as they see your credit report, they are going to know immediately because people's credit reports don't look like this. You're probably thinking, look like what? Blank. One page with a bunch of zeros on it. I'm not talking about the credit score. I'm not talking about the credit score. I'm talking about within the credit reports, all three. You know what it shows? Zeros, one page, nothing's on it, no, nothing else. Nothing's there. Zeros. How many slaves do you think have ever seen a credit report like that? None. They have no idea credit reports can look like that. They have no clue a credit report can have all zeros on it. All they focus on the credit score. Exactly what they're told to focus on. Don't worry about what's within the credit report. Hey, it's okay to share the credit score because slaves just share their credit score all over the place. You notice that? Oh, my credit score is this, my credit score is that. If you say, hey, but what's in your credit report? Oh man, that's taboo. I can't tell you that. That's all part of the program, baby. Yes, they are employees of the bank. Sure are. Hyphy, yes, because we're talking to Hyphy. Rainy Woman says bankers are just well dressed, paid influential, influential slaves. Yep, that's it. That's all they are. That's all they are. They're just working. If you go to a bank and check this out, if you go to a bank to get a loan, and I guarantee you, the person helping you, this is what I want you to ask them. Now you got to have some balls to do it, okay? Because you guys are scared to ask these type of questions. If they're helping you get a loan, I want you to say, "Hey, man, do you got student loans?" If they say yes, man, they're there for a paycheck. Okay, I want you, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Okay, you got to earn money, right? That's okay. But I'm just saying, just because they're working at a bank, they're not smarter than you. They work for the bank. Verizon's slowing down my phone. They keep sending me messages to upgrade to the new S21 payments, $28 a month for 2 years. Man, man, do you guys know how? Like, put it this way: if you are checking your Bitcoin account on your finance cell phone, you're a slave. That's why you believe Bitcoin is real. Okay, here, this is better yet. Better yet. If you are checking your Bitcoin account on your finance cell phone, you are the Bitcoin. Do you understand? You're the Bitcoin. If you are checking your student loan balance from your finance cell phone, you're a slave. Do you understand? Only slaves do that. Only a slave would check their student. Okay, here's another one. If you are making car payments and student loan payments at the same time, you're a slave. Only a slave would ever do that. If your student loans are older than your car, you're a slave. If you are investing in Bitcoin in or any cryptocurrency. Let's get off Bitcoin for a sec. Any cryptocurrency, while having student loans, you're a slave. Do you understand? Because that's impossible. You can't. You cannot invest in cryptocurrency while having student loan debt. That's impossible. So anybody pressuring you because you see this number on Google, what they're saying, whatever cryptocurrency, 60, 50, they keep bouncing the shit up and down. That shit is funny to watch. One minute it's 60,000, next is 54. It don't make any, listen, it don't make any sense. None, zero. You know why? Because it's fake. No, not fake, and that's the wrong word. I'm not gonna say fake. It's like, how can it's like gambling for the wealthy, but the wealthy know it's not really gambling. It's like it's more like who's going to make more money than the other person. Everybody, put it this way, they all know they're going to make money. They're just probably competing with each other, seeing who's going to make the most money out of it. Because you can see what's happening. You can see it. It's crazy, man. If I wasn't investing in myself right now, first I have to establish myself before I can play in that kind of stuff, right? I have to establish me first, get a solid, okay, cool, I'm good now right here. Now I can play around. But right now I got to get myself solid, because I'm sure people, hey, if cryptocurrency is real for you, how come you're not investing in it? But I'm too busy investing in myself right now. I'll get to it. You got to, like Elon, he has some money to play with. Like if he lost 1.5 million, that's nothing to him. He probably got that money out of the ashtray of his car. He said, "Hey, take this change and put it in that cryptocurrency. Hey, stimulus checks, because like here, this is what you guys don't understand. Okay, this is what Elon knew that you didn't know. Okay, the stimulus package had to pass. It was never a if. Okay, it had to pass. That wasn't for the stimulus package not to pass was not an option. It was going to pass. The only time is when, though. Okay, nobody. Well, that's generations. There are some people that knew when, but it was just when. But you had a general idea. You just look at the climate. Okay, people run out of money. They're gonna start tripping if you don't give them some money. Okay, it's gonna be right around here. Okay, and then it comes out. Boom, it's there, right? So he knew the stimulus package was going. It had to pass. It had to. So you throw a bunch of money in there. You slaves will look at him and say, "Hey, look, Elon's rich. He believes in it." And then you're going to follow him. He knew that. But you guys don't know when to pull your money out. When all you got to do is listen to the news. When the news says, "Hey, the last of the stimulus checks are going out, are reaching the final people," that's when it's time to pull. Because soon as you guys run out of money, soon as you guys start running out of money, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna go to your accounts and start trying to pull that money out because you're gonna need it. But they're gonna pull theirs out before you. And guess what? When you go back there, it's nothing's gonna be there. Do you see? Wow, congratulations on the rise. Congratulations. All markets are manipulated, but you know what? Even using the word manipulation, when you're outside the debt matrix, it's like, when you're reading that, if I can imagine when you're in debt and you read the word manipulation of the market, you're like, oh, you start all this stuff starts running through your mind. Oh man, because they're rich, they got inside people, they got the money. When it's really not any of that, it's just math. All right, they're not special, they're not above you. They might have been doing it longer than you. That's probably true. Okay, but they're not special because nobody owns math. Okay, nobody's more special because 1 + 1 = 2 or 1 + 2 = 3. You're not any special than anybody else that says it. If you have a million shares that you bought under a penny and that share goes to 50 cents, that's 500K you gained. Sure. All the future stimulus will pass as well. They need to spend at least 100 trillion over the next 8 years. Okay. I just think like the next stimulus package, it's not going to be for a while. They're going to talk, they toss out the money because that money is also needed for the economy. The new economy has just started, right? So they need to get some things started. So that money goes out to start it. They see how well it goes. If people still tripping, they might come up with another stimulus package or something like that, right? I'm just thinking if it's going to happen, it's got to happen during the housing crash. When the housing crash comes, I believe that's when the next stimulus package comes because it's going to make 2008 look like nothing. You watch. Because a lot of these people, I want you guys to, and if this is you're listening to this, I want you to understand something. People like us can see you struggling. Do you know how many people are in the same housing situation as you? Well, months behind on your mortgage. I know it doesn't look like that from the outside. I know when you get on social media, you see people buying houses. You're probably thinking to yourself, man, how could they buy houses? And I'm so far behind on payments, I can't even afford anything because they're not. They're not buying anything. Okay, that's a trick. Nobody don't all you got to do is hey, millions of people out of work. That means a lot of people on social media are faking. Okay, that's pretend. A lot of people you don't really understand have refinanced their houses and they don't know they're doing this. They've refinanced their house and they're using the money as a cushion. So what they're doing is they might be out of a job since they refinanced their house. They're just using the money. Guess what they're doing? They're giving the money right back to the bank. They borrowed the money from the bank and they're giving it right back to the bank by what? Paying their car notes, paying their mortgage payments with it, paying their bills with it. You see what I'm saying? That's how it works. They're get they borrowed money from the bank at a percentage rate and they're giving it right back to the bank. Why? Because they believe the house they're in is theirs, but it's not. Do you guys understand how brilliant this shit is? It's absolutely brilliant. It's always key for sure. People in debt went from playing hungry hippo to hungry crypto. Sure is. You're right. We will get a infrastructure bill by next year. Mm, mm, mm. Yep, new infrastructure will be needed. Oh yeah, you better believe that. And when they get rid of paper money, oh my God. They got slaves believing that the banks are really upset. They will get upset if they get rid of the paper dollar and they all spreading the same shit. Oh, the dollar ain't worth this. It's going down and this and that and blah blah blah. They don't understand none of it exists for them. They playing right into it. And then once the dollar is gone, oh, the banks, the system will have, oh my God, that it's in full control. Everything. Because paper money actually just just, because you could just get some money and hide stuff and not report it. It's too inconvenient. But if everything goes digital, you can't hide anything. Mm, mm, mm. Boy, mm. I was 6 months in forbearance behind. Then I sold, took my gains and left. Congratulations. You did the smart move, baby. You did the smart move. American taxpayers will pay my grandchildren's bill for decades. See, this is what Andre flies in his stupid spaceship because he's the only one that has one right now that I know of. I'm sure he got other friends with spaceships. Says something and flies off in light speed. You don't even have enough time to turn your head 90 degrees, 30 degrees, whatever to see him. He's gone. Almost like, where'd that come from? Quentin says, LJ, do you think there will be no. Andre was saying that earlier. It can't. It can't be the last. I think it's going to be spread out further. It just cannot be. First, you got to see what happens with this one. Okay, they put out the money, and then they see how it's called stimulus check for a reason, because it's going to stimulate the economy. Okay, so they see how it's going to work, see how people respond, see what kind of businesses are created from it. Because there's going to be, don't get me wrong, there's going to be positive businesses created from this. Okay, because people have to reinvent themselves. They got to understand that the old economy is gone. This is the way. The new thing right now is delivery. Whatever delivery, it pretty soon it's going to be 24-hour delivery. So you got to be thinking like that. Like right now, deliveries are reaching my house like 8 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock, or 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Pretty soon that's not going to be enough, because people are going to be working 24 hours a day from home. So people are always going to be up. You got to think like this in the future. So there's going to be neighborhoods, because the majority of people are going to be working from home. That means they can work 25. The slaves will be more comfortable working 24 hours, right? There's going to be a night shift and day shift everywhere. So that means there's going to be a need for 24-hour delivery. It's all by choice, though. It's all by choice. I knew that house wasn't mine. I was living there temporarily until, yeah, true. Problem solved. Andre says, I keep telling you, LJ, the world is managed, not personal, just business. Yeah, right. It is. Oh, Andre, I clearly understand there's a hierarchy. Clear. There's no doubt. Now, when I look at it, it says, these are the rules that slaves can't see. Okay. If you don't follow them, you will get spanked. Do you understand? Because if we let you do that, they're going to be able to see what they can't see. That's why they spank you. You can't do that. It's like, there's different laws for the wealthy. Okay. You know that. You can't just say, hey, look, that's it. It just is. That is. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. It just is. How do you know if the housing how do you know if the housing market crash? Is that when inflation goes up, or when many people get foreclosed? Okay, that's a good question. And I'm gonna take out the complexity of how you're responding. Okay. When you talk about inflation, don't worry about inflation, don't worry about any of that stuff. All you gotta do is look at this. Google to see how many people are out of work right now. That's gonna be millions of people. That means that's millions of people that cannot pay their mortgage, not even an option to pay their mortgage. They cannot pay it. If they cannot pay it, that means people are going to get foreclosed on. This includes not only the homeowners that thought they were homeowners, this includes the slaves that financed a rental home to think they're going to make extra income by borrowing more money to get in deeper debt to have an extra income. Including those people, they're going to get foreclosed on too, because they can't afford to do it, because there's nobody paying them rent. Not so, and usually those people take out second mortgages on their home. So they're good. The person in the house is going to lose the home. The people that thought they were renting, they're going to lose that rental home, and then they're going to lose their own home. Now you times that by millions of people. A housing market crash is coming. Nothing's going to stop it. It's coming. I'm not delivering. And plus, oh yeah, on top of that, salaries. Those big salaries of first, those jobs have been closed. A lot of businesses have closed down. Everything's delivery. Everything's delivery jobs. How much you think they're going to be paying you to deliver packages? They're going to be paying you minimum wage, whatever the state you live in. If maybe a little bit more, counts on which company you work for, but it's not going to be. You're not going to be making $50,000-$60,000 a year. You probably be making 35, maybe, and you're going to be 1099. You're going to be responsible for your own taxes, your own insurance, your own car, because you're going to be making these deliveries in your own car. Do you know how much money these businesses are going to? You need to come up with a business that's going to be something that's going to be delivery or whatever. Once they get rid of paper money, and it won't cost. God damn it, Andre. Oh Lord, it won't cost 19 cents to make $100 bill anymore. They will be having slaves for free. They do slaves. So yeah, they're saving the 19 cents to make $100 bill now. They don't even have to make. First of all, they don't even have to. You got to remember, they don't really, just because you see a lot of money being printed on TV, they're not printing that much money because they don't need to print that much money, because paper money doesn't exist for slaves. So the number they're seeing, it's just something on somebody typed in a screen and put it on a digital screen and say, hey, look, this is how much we print. It's called a rent famine. There's a fucking name for it. Damn. How many slaves I've never heard of that term. A rent famine. Damn. If you have cash, you can buy the block, literally. See what's gonna happen? You guys have no idea how many people that understand they are licking their chops. Their family is gonna be set for at least a generation. If their family has been taught about money the correct way. Because if you understand how money works and the rest of your family doesn't, and you leave something to a slave, it's going to go right back into, and guess what they're going to be waiting on? Man, these people are licking their chops. This is the opportunity of a lifetime coming. Oh my God, you guys slaves, you guys don't understand what's about to happen with the real estate market. This will never happen again for at least 100 years. 80 to 100 years. The opportunity is about to happen right now, and man, you guys don't even get it. You they're just waiting while you guys are doing cryptocurrency. They're probably jumping into cryptocurrency right now because of that. That's extra, no different than what Elon Musk did. Okay, they're gonna get some extra money because that money they're gonna use to buy real estate. They're gonna buy real stuff with fake money. They're gonna, no, not fake money. They're gonna buy real estate with money that doesn't even exist. You think you think somebody will have a problem making money from something that doesn't exist and paying taxes on that shit? Hey, IRS, here's your portion. Here, take that shit. You think I'm gonna hide that from you? Hell no. Here's your portion, IRS. I know I must pay to play in the game. I know how it works. I know how it works. You think you're gonna make some free money and just, man, it's free. Why not? But once you get out of debt matrix, you understand the rules. Okay, you make this, you pay that. All right, cool. Here you go. Shit. Especially money from money that doesn't exist. Oh man. They're gonna take that money, and then when the housing market crash, oh, mm, I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready to do that yet. And I see it coming. I can't do nothing. I can't do anything. I can just watch them get generational rich. They're about to get generational rich. Mm, mm. I wonder when the housing market will crash and burn. Oh, it's coming. And at this point, listen, don't worry about when it's coming. Just understand that it is. All you got to do is stack your money. Don't worry about with the time. It's coming. The actual time of it happening is really irrelevant. Okay? Just know that it is. Maybe I'll be able to buy for. Oh yeah, most definitely. Rent famines happen every 8. See what I'm saying? I knew it. Man, I was telling the people the other day. I said on YouTube, I went back and watched the crash of 1929, but this time I watched the whole video with my debt-free eyes. Okay? When I watched that video, everything I saw that was expected. What do you mean? You didn't know that was coming? But when you're in the debt matrix, you can't see it coming. You stick your head in the ground and think, oh, I hope this doesn't happen to my job or happen to my position. Taught an old money thing. You better believe this is taught. Shout out to Fudman. Cash, silver, gold is better idea than crypto. Only if you're not in debt. If you are in debt, gold, silver, platinum, diamonds, none of that exists for you. None of it. It's imaginary. Okay. Andre says, they buy unimproved land on the outskirts of established communities, usually of the tax rolls. No one's talking about the infinite. No one's talking about it. You know why they're not talking about it? Because they don't know about it. Slaves don't know it's coming. This is what they're focused on right now. They're focused on the amazing loan mortgage interest rates. That's on purpose. As soon as they lower interest rates, they know slaves are going to focus in on that. Now they can do the other things in the background. Okay, here's something that you don't know, slaves. Okay, all right. And I just said this the other day, so you guys can see how it works. Okay. They pause the student loan debt, pause the student loan payments and the interest. Okay. Not since they paused, you know what else they did? They took it off your credit report, so it's not there. If you logged into your credit report right now, you probably won't see your student loan debt sitting there. It just vanished, right? That automatically makes your credit score go up and your debt to income ratio go down. Your debt is dramatically improved, which leaves you open to be approved for a house, a car, all that stuff. Do you see how it works? You guys are led just like cows. If you go to a farm and see how cows are led to slaughter, that's how you guys are done. That's what you guys do. Yeah, it's a refinance boom. It's a refinance boom right now. Of course it is. And guess who initiated the refinance? The bank reaches out to them. Or vice versa. They put it on the news, the slaves believe it, and then they think to themselves, hey, if we refi, they say, hey, you got about 50 grand in equity. This could help you through this. This is what they do. This is business. This could help you through this trying time. Bloggity, blah, blah, blah. And you say, yeah. And then you borrow the money from the bank at an interest rate, and you give the money right back to them. See what I'm saying? From that's cryptocurrency. That's not cash. That's just they said, what do you want to borrow from us? You say this, and then they open up their laptop and put in those numbers, and then you see it in your account, and then you believe it. No cash was exchanged, none, zero, no physical cash. That's called cryptocurrency. First, they make you believe that it takes 30 years to pay off one house. That's what they make you believe. What do you mean? It don't take 30 years to pay off one house, but if you believe it, it does. So if you have a mortgage, let's go even deeper. If you have a mortgage and you invested in cryptocurrency, you didn't invest in anything because according to the laws of mathematics, it's impossible to invest in cryptocurrency while having a mortgage. That's what the laws of mathematics say. And if anything is wrong, it's you, because the laws of mathematics are never wrong, ever. The laws of mathematics say it's 100% impossible to invest in Bitcoin while having a mortgage. That's impossible. It happens every 100 years. We're literally 100 years removed from the 1920 crash. People need to, you know what? What it really is, all you got to do is pay attention to evolution. That's it. Everything evolves. It has to. In order for things to get better and faster, whatever, everything evolves. So this is the point to where the previous economy works for the previous economy. This is a new economy. Never seen before. Everything's delivered. Everything's online. You don't have to, big malls are shut down. Everything's different. The old economy could not work with this economy. It couldn't. So what they did, first they redid the tax system because they knew the new economy was coming. First they redo that. Now the dilemma, how to get the economy caught up with the new tax system. Oh, okay. Whoa, this happened okay, whatever. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, oh shit, 2020, a virus came, stopped everything stopped. The economy stopped. They swapped engines and started it back up. Here we go. We're starting it up back right now. It's running a little rough. Just imagine the engine it's running, but you can see it jerking a little bit. We're just working out the kinks. This has millions of spark plugs in it. You've never seen an engine like this. It has millions of spark plugs in it. You know who the spark plugs are? You are slaves. That's why it's running rough. You guys got to get used to the new engine. Like, hey, I've never felt this, man. This kind of feels kind of hot. It's hotter than normal. Blah blah blah. You guys, once you guys get used to it, you'll get going. And this engine runs for 100 years. No electricity, none of that. You guys are the engine. 100% organic because it runs on humans. I'm sorry, slaves, but I'm not, because you're choosing it. Oh man. Let's go look at what cryptocurrency is right now. Let's see what Bitcoin is at right now. Bitcoin price. Ooh, it's up to 56,000. You better hurry out, run out there and get your Bitcoin crumb, because you can't buy a whole Bitcoin, so you got to go buy a Bitcoin crumb, slaves. You better hurry up. It's up to $56,000 a coin. After after they rape you for fees and all this other stuff because you don't know you don't have any money, you probably what are you gonna get for the little bit of money that you have to invest that's borrowed? You guys are borrowing money to invest in crypto. God damn, you are the Bitcoin. If you have student loans and you're investing in Bitcoin, you're the Bitcoin slave. If you're making car payments and you invested in Bitcoin, you are the Bitcoin. Okay? Do you understand? If you have a mortgage and you invested in Bitcoin, you are the Bitcoin slave. Bitcoin is a distraction. They are buying tangible assets for pennies on the dollar. Sure is. Shit, you better, hey, I keep saying it. You better believe people that understand they are throwing their money in Bitcoin because they're going to take all that money and buy up real estate with it because they know when to pull. You guys don't, slave. Once you see it, once you check this out, it's gonna go into a frenzy. I'm gonna tell you guys exactly how it's gonna go. Okay. Now that the stimulus check's going, it's gonna rise up to 60. And then it's gonna get hit 70. And then it's gonna hit 80. And then you guys are gonna go into a motherfucking frenzy and start dumping every penny, finance and everything. Let me pull out some equity, man. I'm gonna pull out some equity on my house and invest in Bitcoin. I'm gonna pay this house off. Whatever you believe, slave, you do whatever you want. And then they're gonna know when to pull. They're gonna be like, listen for the news. Hey, the last stimulus checks have been sent out. Then they're gonna pull. Mm, 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 mm. And then the housing market's gonna crash, really crash then. And then when it crashes, they're gonna swoop in like motherfucking Superman is swooping up properties for pennies on the dollar. Oh, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I am jealous. This is like, you guys don't understand. This is gonna be like generational change wealth type of real estate change. Mm, 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 mm. Another problem is if you buy alternate crypto, you can get taxed per transaction. So you can get taxed. Hey, Understand this. This is all you got to keep in mind. Every financial transaction you do, you automatically assume it's going to be taxed. Okay, that's all you got to do. Don't worry about if this is going to be taxed, if that's going to be taxed, or what. Don't worry about any of that shit. You claim every single penny you make. That's what you do. Period. Don't worry about if they're going to tax it. Don't worry about what slaves do. Okay, slaves believe they're not. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about that. They're going to be taxed. Listen. Oh, they do them so dirty. Oh God, just even think about. Oh, they do you guys so dirty. Not only does the money not exist, you're going to get taxed on money that doesn't exist. Most of you are not going to claim it because you really believe they can't see it. They already know in order for you to use this, whatever you think it is, you have to turn it into physical dollars to use it. You have to digitally or physically. It doesn't matter. You change them into, that's when they're going to know because you need their currency to survive. You can't survive without US currency. You can't. You're in the US. Duh. Don't that just make sense? So the minute you convert it, they know it. How many slaves you think are not going to claim it? And they're probably crossing their fingers. Most of you guys are going to do that anyway. So not only are they going to get the amount that you so-called made, they're going to get more than that in fines and penalties and fees. Why? Because you broke the rules. If you live here in the US, they say right here, if you live in the US and you do some financial stuff, these are the rules here in the US. Period. If you don't, we're going to take away the time in your life. Which one you want? They're going to bury you guys, man. Ooh. I'm so jealous of the people that understand this shit, man. They're about to, oh man. They probably throwing parties. They they probably got the map. They're mapping out the areas where they're gonna put their compounds, whose property they're gonna take. Probably driving by it every day. Soon as this market hit, as soon as this housing market crash, I'm getting that property right there. I already looked it up. I already saw they're behind on payments and taxes or whatever. All this public information. Especially if you're behind on taxes, you are out of here. If you are behind on your taxes on your property, you are out of here. And that's public information. They already know. You don't know people have looked up that information and they're licking their chops. Mm, boy. And then you look at what's going on today. You see all these housing complexes going up. This is why I think housing. This is why I think the housing complexes are going up so fast. Right? They already spent that money. Right? So they got to get on it before this housing market crashes. Because if they wait and the housing market crash happens, they'll never be able to sell those homes. So they got to get on it. That's why they're flying up so fast. It's like, hey, man, hey, let's get this. We got to get people in these houses because once they're sold, they're off their books, right? Once they get that sold, they're out of there. But they got to get them up fast. Can you imagine? I can only imagine how many builders are sweating bullets, man. They're like, hey, man, we got to get these houses up. Hey, we'll get it done ahead of schedule. Come on, let's go. Another problem if you buy, oh, okay, we said that because you have to use Bitcoin first to buy alternate crypto. See how the banks add complexity in there, but the banks came up with cryptocurrency. I want those of you guys that understand something. I really want you to understand something. The banks came up with cryptocurrency. Now, the first thing a slave is going to say, "Hey, man, can you prove it?" You know what I'm going to say? No, I can't prove it. What do you think? Of course, I can't. You think they have to write any of this stuff down? You guys don't even know it exists. Why do you think they have to write this information down? They don't. And even if they wrote it down, you wouldn't see it anyway. It doesn't matter. The banks invented cryptocurrency. You guys are the only ones that don't know that. They are expecting something. Most that I know are on vacation in the islands. They don't want to be on the mainland. Strange to take your kids out of school before the end of the. They're expecting something. Most that I know are on vacation. Okay, in the islands. They don't want to be on the mainland. Strange to take your kids out of school before the end of the school year. Taking your kids out of school early. Well, most of school is online right now, so they don't really have to take their kids out of school because they can be anywhere to be online. They just put their kids on online school, and their kids can be still attend school while on the islands. But why would they do that though? Yeah, exactly. That's convenient. But I'm thinking, why are they doing that? Why are they leaving the mainland to do that? I got to think about that one. That's interesting. Why would they do that? Hmm. It counts on how long. When you come across these people, Andre, are they saying how long they're going to be staying there? Are they saying, "Hey, we're just going to stay here for to the end of the year"? What are they saying? Hmm. Anyway, that's interesting. But I'm gonna wrap this up. I got some things to do today. If you enjoyed the broadcast today, leave a comment. There's my Cash App. Uh, there's my website. You want a consultation? You want to get out of the debt matrix? You want to stop being used? If you no longer want to have a credit report, aka owner's ledger, if you want to stop all that nonsense right there, go to get a consultation. All right. You don't have to be prepared. You don't have to prepare anything. You don't have to tell me your credit score. I'm just going to listen to you. I want to know. Hey, man, what led you up to basically, this is what it is. What led you up to having to call me? Okay. And then you're just going to tell me that story and that's it. I'll listen to the story and I'll know exactly what to do for you. Could promise you, guaranteed. I'll know exactly what to do for you. But the key is, will you be able to do it? Okay. It will all be mathematically justified too. Okay. Yes, until next year. Hmm. So not only did they leave, they said, fuck the fear of COVID and getting it for me, us or our kids. And not saying that they shouldn't have did it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, obviously, it didn't mean anything. It probably never has, but they said they just left. I said until next year, and we are in March. That is very interesting. We're not even a quarter away through the year. Hmm. Now I got to keep my antennas up because anything, anything I come across that don't make sense, that's a clue. Well, why are you doing that? You're going to go on vacation. A rich person says, "I'm going on vacation to the end of the year." A slave will say, "Oh man, they're rich. That's why they're going on vacation." The first thing I say is, "Why are you going on vacation there for that long until the end of the year? Why are you doing that?" Nothing to do with them having money, and just because they have money, they can stay that long. That's not the point. Why are you doing that? Hmm. Thanks, Andre. Andre knows how to drop the hints in there, get a cat thinking. All right, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Well, let me put this up. It's no, I gotta go. It's an hour and 40. Now I gotta go. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. Until next time. What'd you say, Andre? Let me see. What I just I thought the same thing. All All our generational money. Mm. Oh, motherfucker. Mm. It's only March and they left till next year? That has to be planned. Where the fuck you staying that long? They got to be your own property, or maybe Airbnbs are available anywhere you want to go right now for a freaking quarter of the price. That wouldn't be nothing. Mm. Hmm. Damn you, Andre. Damn you. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. See you next time.